Ys VIII Lacrimosa of Dante Final Impressions review. Here we go. Wormys Playhouse, and finally, I just beat Ys VIII Lacrimosa of Dante. So this is going to be my final impressions review of this game. This is a great addition to the Ys series. I'm a big fan of Ys all the way back from Ys Chronicles 1 and 2 to Ys Origins, Ys Oath and Felghana. There's so many Ys series. We're finally in the 8th one. It's a really fantastic game to add to this series as a whole. You can really see where the developers came from all the way back from the Sega Master System days and then on to the Super Nintendo all the way up till now on Nintendo Switch. And I gotta say that I had a blast playing this game. If you enjoy Breath of the Wild or Xenoblade Chronicles 2, I would say this falls somewhere in between those two games. It kind of has a mixture of both genres here. It's a little bit of that action combat style like Breath of the Wild while still having that technical side of Xenoblade Chronicles. So it kind of falls in between the two games. If you enjoy Breath of the Wild and you're interested in Xenoblade Chronicles 2, if you think that's just too technical for you, well, pick up Ys VIII Lacrimosa of Dante. Adol later awoke on the coast of some mysterious beach, looking out to sea. A realization dawned on him. He had washed ashore on the cursed Isle of Siren, an island overrun with ancient, untamed wilderness, populated by creatures seen nowhere else in this world. It was not long before Adol found himself experiencing cryptic dreams about a mysterious young woman with flowing blue hair, whose world Adol had never encountered before. Why is the Isle of Siren said to be cursed? What great mysteries does it contain? And who is this mysterious woman in Adol's dreams? On this infamous deserted island, amid the sounds of waves beating against the coast, Adol's next adventure begins. So just like any other Ys game in this series, well, Adol starts his adventure on a brand new island lost out in the sea, setting out on an adventure to discover what lies beyond the horizon. So the first half of this game is pretty much discovering what the island has to hold for you, just exploring the land to find out new areas to discover, trying to find your castaways that were on the ship that got flung overboard onto this island. So you have to set out and find all your crewmates and bring them back to the castaway village that you're building up so you can get everyone together and leave this land and get back to your life back at sea. So the first half of the game is pretty much just an exploration adventure. You know, they throw in bits and pieces of the story, just enough to keep your attention there. It's like a mystery. Majority of it is just this interesting mystery that keeps it going, what's going on? So it's not until about like 30 hours in, halfway through the game, where the story really sets in. You know, just like any other traditional JRPG, that's just the way the stories go. It takes a while for it to really kick into gear. So a lot of the game is an exploration game. You're exploring most of the island. However, there is a fast travel system, so when you want to get from one side all the way across to the other side of the island, well, you can just fast travel over, which that's nice. But what I absolutely love about this game is the combat. The combat is so smooth. You get 6 different characters that you can play as. You have 3 in your main group at once, and you can switch between each one of the characters just like that on the fly. And depending on which one of the enemies that you're fighting, well, each enemy has their own weaknesses. So you're going to want to switch between your characters. Whether you're playing as Adol, Donna, Laxius, Sahad, Hummel, and Ricotta. So determined by your character's weapon, slash, strike, and pierce, enemies will take more damage from a damage type they are vulnerable against. By switching characters on the fly, you can efficiently damage your foes. And on top of your enemy's weaknesses, well, your characters each have certain skill slots that you get a whole entire list of skills so you can attack for heavy damage against each one of the enemies, and each character has their very own skills. And then on top of that, building up there, you have an ultimate extra skill dealing massive damage against certain enemies. So I really like the combat in this game. It's very smooth, I gotta say, because this game is out on other platforms, and I know there was some technical issues with the PC version and the Sony version. However, I think Nintendo Switch, because it came out so late in the game, well, it's like the ultimate edition of this game. Everything is really smooth. They did downgrade the graphics a little bit. You can really tell it's the drawback. The game is in 720 HD, so it does look pretty good on the Switch. It could look better, but the drawback is where you can really tell the graphics are decreased quite a bit. But that is just to better enhance the combat, because the combat, again, it is just so smooth. I never experienced any frame rate drops, never had any clunks going on. It was really nice, buttery smooth. And another thing that's kind of like Breath of the Wild is the timed attacks, where if you dodge at a certain right moment or guard at the last possible second, well, you go into this fast-paced or slow-mo kind of mode where all the enemies just slow down and your character just super speeds up, and you get to unleash an ultimate attack where you just hit them non-stop for extra damage. So that's kind of like Legend of Zelda, where if you dodge the last second, well, you get to unleash a lot of combos. So it's really nice how they brought that into this game. It's a really nice addition for ease. I really did enjoy it, although a couple of things with that, I did find it kind of hard to time when you had to block or dodge at the last possible second. I never really quite got the timing down, but if you did get the timing down, you were unstoppable. That's how you gotta play this game. You gotta find the enemy's weakness, you gotta switch to the right character. Again, you can do that on the fly, and then just wait for them to attack you and just dodge the last second, and then just go into that super speed up mode and just unleash ultimate attacks on them. And the difficulty in the game is actually pretty fair, because you can change the difficulty from easy to normal to hard all in game. So you can be in the middle of a battle, and if it's too easy or too hard, well, you can just go into your menu option and just change it on the fly. So all your characters level up together, whether they're in your party or not, they're all leveling up. As you're progressing through the game, you're getting more skills, unlocking more abilities to have for each one of your characters. Item gathering and seeking out all the different materials so you can build up your colony back at your home base. It's fairly easy. You just see an item glowing in the distance and you just run up and collect it, which is really nice. And they actually have a fishing mechanic, so you want to, do some fishing out in the sea, collect some fish, and you might be able to trade it in for something nice. So I found myself fishing more often than not, because sometimes you'll find some hidden treasure down below the sea. And I ended ended up finding some giant rare fish, which I was able to trade in for a pretty nice price. And on top of the actual weapon skills that you also have adventuring gear, which will give you additional benefits and boosts to your entire party. So you can run really fast, get across the land much faster, you can climb certain vines, you can have a double jump, which that is really nice because all the Ys games always has that classic double jump, so that was awesome. And by equipping your adventurer's gear, it will allow you to access new points on the map that you were unable to obtain before. And there's always hidden treasures just around the corner, there's always something new to explore, and you have to find all the passengers from your crew. They're out somewhere on this island. You can miss a few of them, so make sure to just explore everything. If you like exploration style games, well, this will be perfect for you. And as you build up your colony, there's a whole bunch of beast raids that happen. The enemy creatures are constantly attacking your colony, and you're not quite too sure why. Why are you constantly being attacked? What's going on? What mysteries lies on this island? And that's when the story really kicks in. About halfway through, everything starts coming together. You're getting all these different mysterious story-based things going on, and you're finding new characters. Donna, she's absolutely amazing. I really like her as a character. I like the story that's going on with her in this game. There were even a couple moments that brought a few tears to my eyes. That's how you know it's a good game. When an RPG can bring a couple tears to your eyes, well, that's a sell right there. And I gotta say, the music. Wow, the music for this game is really fitting. It's another fantastic soundtrack for this game. All the Ys series games has a phenomenal music, and Ys 8 just adds on top of it. I have the soundtrack here. I'm absolutely loving it. I listen to it almost every day. This came in the limited edition box set that I have here, so I did do it in an unboxing video for this limited edition box set, so watch that. There are a few things about this game that I wasn't quite pleased about, mainly the cutscenes with the story, because the combat, it was so fast and fluid, nice and smooth, but then it would cut over to the cutscenes in the game, and it would really just kind of slow down. Just you would see the character just moving in like this real slow motion kind of movement. It was kind of strange. So you had this fast action combat, and then the cutscene would kick in, and it would just kind of the pacing was just off. So that's one issue right there. And again, it is in 720 HD compared to 1080 on other consoles, but that's mainly because they wanted to keep the frame rate at a max, locked 30 frames per second. And again, it is really smooth, but you can really see in the drawback that the graphics just took a huge dip. But up close, the characters, your sprites, it looked like it was almost in 1080, just your character itself. But then, you know, that drawback, but you gotta take that sacrifice just to have that smooth frame rate, because that's what you want, is the combat. You want it to be perfectly smooth, and I gotta say, I haven't noticed one drop. And again, the timing. The timing with the flash guard and flash move, I never quite got it down. Even towards the end, I never felt like I really mastered it. But you know, when you did nail that movement, you just were unstoppable. You know, there's tons of quests in this game which I really like. The quest, it always had a marker. Whenever a new quest would pop up, a marker would pop up on your screen, so you always knew where to go. I never had a problem with that. That's a huge plus right there, because some games, I don't really complete all the quests because I'm just not too sure what to do, and I don't want to look it up online. I want to just complete it myself. But the main draw for this game is that story. Ys always has really great stories to tell. There's always some kind of mystery that you're trying to discover on a new adventure. If you like engaging stories and just fast combat, this is gonna be a huge game for you to play. Don't miss out on this game, I gotta say. You know, if you just came from Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild and you're hesitant to jump in to Xenoblade Chronicles 2 because it's just a little bit too technical for you, I think this is a good medium for you. This will really take you over from one to the next. It's a great game, a great story to tell, fantastic music, the combat, again, it is just so smooth. Just switching between one character to the next. So I gotta say, I had a lot of fun playing this game. Let me know if you're gonna be playing this game. Which characters are you gonna go through your story as? And what's nice is that each one of the characters that are in your main party, well, they have a certain side story to them. Something about them and this island, it kind of just brings it all together. It brings all the characters together. So you really feel and enjoy these characters. So will you be playing this game? I absolutely recommend playing Ys 8. It's a good jumping point to get into this series. If you haven't played this series at all, definitely don't miss out on this. So that's gonna be it for this episode. I just wanted to talk about this game. It took me about 70 hours to complete. Again, I did 100% this game. I beat all the side quests. I did get the good ending. There are 2 endings in this game. If you complete a good majority of the quests in your colony for your sub-characters, well then you get the good ending, and it's definitely worth it. So thank you for joining us today for another episode of Playhouse, and please like, comment, and subscribe, and follow me on Twitter, and we'll see you again for another episode. We'll see you then, bye!